In this video, I'm going to be giving you my top 3 trading tools that you can use with MT4 to make your trading life easier. And the best thing about them is that they're all completely free. So the first one we have for you is Position Sizer. Now this is an update to the position size calculator that I've done a previous video on. But the difference now is that they've turned it from an indicator that you needed to use a script with to work to an actual EA, an expert advisor. So it's just one file that you need to install. So it's a little bit more updated. So you want to do pretty much the same thing as before. Go to Earn Forex and type in Position Sizer. Whereas it used to be Position Size Calculator, it's now called Position Sizer. Okay, so just go to this website after searching on Google, go to Downloads, and you'll find that you have the option for MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5. I mainly use MetaTrader 4, so I'm going to be downloading that. You see it's downloaded here. Once you've downloaded and extracted Position Sizer, you'll see you have this folder here. Now inside that folder, you should see 4 files. What you need to do is go back to that folder and now open up your MT4 or MT5 terminal. Once that's opened, go to File and Open Data folder, and now go to MQL4 or MQL5 if you're using MT5. Now you want to go to the Experts tab and you want to go back to that Position Sizer and drag that folder into there. Okay. That is now done. Now you can go to the expert advisors right here in your navigator, and you may need to refresh for it to show. Okay, now you should see that Position Sizer is in there. Now one thing you need to do is go to Tools, MetaQuotes Language Editor, and then you just need to go to Experts and find the Position Sizer folder, find the Position Sizer.mq4 or mq5, and right click that and press compile. That should complete without any errors. Now you can close this window. Now you are ready to go to Expert Advisors and drag in Position Sizer. Like so. Now it will come up with this, and you can choose your own settings and inputs for Position Sizer. I will go through the ones that I use. If I just enlarge this, I can tell you that I don't change any of these things. You can change the colors of the lines that pop up. With this, you can change the entry line color. This is all kind of aesthetic things. I don't really do anything with those. What I will do is default stop loss. I'll probably just put at 2 pips, default TP, put it at 8, whatever you want. Entry type instant or pending. I'm more going towards limit orders these days, although I do switch between instant and pending. I prefer the lack of slippage you get from a pending order, so I'll have that as my default. Doesn't matter, you can change it anytime. Show lines by default, true. Line selected, true, makes them easier to move by default. ATR I don't use any of this. Commissions you can change if you want to account for commissions in your risk. So if the commissions are $3 per lot and you want to take that into account when risking, say, 1% of your account, if you're not including commissions there, it's going to be a little bit more than that. But if you include commissions, it will reduce your reward, but it will keep your risk at the level that you want it. And then the default risk percentage. So I would usually use 0.5 for that. Don't use any of this. I don't use any of these things. Magic number, no. You can look into these things if you want. I'm just going with what I use. Ask for confirmation. I will usually turn that off. You know, if you've got children about and they're coming over and pushing your hotkey for trades, then you might want a confirmation on that. TP, don't use this, don't use that. TP multiplier for stop loss value. So for this, I will use this, and because I go risk-free at 1 to 4R, I'll change that to 4. That will give you a default 1 to 4 trade, and it will automatically create that, and I'll show you that in a second. Don't use any of this. More than one target. So this is if you want to do partials along the way. So if you want TP1 for your risk-free, TP2 for your first target, TP3 for your next target, you can do that. So if you have 3 potential targets, your trade hotkey. So I'll usually use D for mine. I don't know why, I just like D, don't quote me on that. But yeah, that, and if you want to save that as a template for position sizer, just save it as, I don't know, 3TP, I would call that one. And that is there, and you can load that on any MT4. Okay, so we have that installed. We now have our, I'm assuming, the yellow is stop loss, green is entry, blue is TP in this situation. So what you want to do now is, you can see if you select TP take profit times 4, right, so yellow must be the TP line, green must be the stop loss, and blue must be the entry, excuse me. So now you can see that if we move the stop loss size, it changes the TP size as well. Okay, so it is always relevant 1 to 4. Apologies for this default looking thing here. You can see if we have a, 25 pip stop loss, we have 100 TP. So that's your first one. Now this comes into play when you go over here, and you can see you've got your TPs in there. So for example, we have there currently 3 TPs would be shown equally as being 33, 33, 33. Now, if you put values on these, if these are set to 0, it won't come up with a TP, it will just be open, you'll have to change it after the trade's placed. But if you put values in here, it will come up with the lines for these as well. Now, unfortunately, you can't set defaults for these, but you can just drag them anyway. So you want to keep this at 1 to 4, then you can move the other ones. And now here, if you want to go risk-free at 1 to 4, depending on whether you're including commissions in your risk or not, if you are including commissions, 20% at 1 to 4 will make you completely risk-free. If not, I would say 25% will get you to risk-free. TP2, that is entirely up to you. You could split this 50-50, so if you're taking 25 at the first TP, you've got 75% left. I mean, really, that leaves you with around 37.5% per trade. So you could just do 38 for one and 37 for the other one. And that will, it's basically got to equal 100 here. So that is how you do your multiple TPs, and you can shift those around wherever you want. And this one will show you, your account balance, your risk. You can change your risk amount here. You can change it to 1%. This is a demo account, $200. So you can see it changes the position size based on your risk amount. There you go. If you wanted to like 5% risk, if you're a mentalist, there you go. You can just change it like that. But I'll stick mine on the default. You can choose to hide the lines or show the lines. Change from pending to instant, which will be like a market execution. Yeah, change from long to short, which will just do the opposite trade. And yeah, that's pretty much how I use Position Sizer. Tool number 2 is a free trade copier that you can use to copy from one MT4 or MT5 account to another. So if you're using prop firms and multiple accounts, this is really handy, and you don't have to pay for a system like Social Trader Tools or Duplicum or something like that. So what we want to do is go to Google and type FXBlue Trade Copier. And there you see, first link we have right here. Oh no. So as it turns out, FXBlue's website decided to go down just as I was recording this video. I tested it moments before and it was working, but hey ho, that is life. Hopefully by the time you watch this, it will be up and running again. And for those instructions, I have done a video on it before. So if you go to YouTube and type how to copy your trades for free on MT4 and MT5 and click on this video, you will see how to install FXBlue's free trade copier. Now, there are a couple of things that I didn't realize you could do before that I do now realize. So going into that now. So as you can see here, I have the sender version of the trade copier installed on my personal Blueberry Markets account, and I have a receiver installed on my my Forex Funds funded account. I also have a copy of a receiver installed on this MT5 Definitive Markets funded account as well. Now, I didn't realize you could copy from MT4 to MT5. I also wasn't aware how easy it was to copy to multiple different accounts as well. It's not just one to another one. It can be, the sender can go out to infinite different receivers. And what you do, you would just go to the settings, and here you see the option of channels. What you want to do is write whatever name you want to call your channels in here and separate them by a comma. So I have trade copy and trade copy 1. You could name it anything. Now, if you go to the receiver, properties in that, and in the channel here, you just want to write exactly the name of one of the channels coming from the sender. Each receiver has to be operating on a different channel, so however many accounts you want to copy to, you want that many different channel names. So I just have 2 that I'm copying to, so I've got trade copy and trade copy 1. This is receiving trade copy, and the definitive is receiving. And the properties here, it's channel trade copy 1. Okay, so all you need to do is make sure you're installing the MT5 version on your MT5 and the MT4 version on your MT4, and then just make sure those channel names match coming from the sender to the receiver, and it's great. For any other settings, look at that other video. Okay, so that was number 2, the personal trade copier from FX Blue. So the final tool I'm going to show you is a backtesting tool, and there are tools out there to pay for, such as FX Replay and Soft4FX, but this is a free one. Now, FX Replay is very good. I've tried it. It uses TradingView, so it's very familiar, the layout, and it's very easy to switch between time frames. But the problem with it is that for a lot of people, it's expensive. $35 a month on top of your TradingView premium subscription, if you've got that, amongst other things. Maybe a little bit too much of a cost, especially if you're just getting into trading and learning. Soft4FX, I think it's around $100, and again, not very easy to use, and so to pay a price like that for something that's very difficult to use may not be ideal for you. So something free is obviously a great option. Now, we're actually going back to our friends FX Blue for this, and if you look now, we can see the website is actually working. Does this mean I'm going to go back and re-record the other bit? No, you'll have already known that I did not, because I cannot be bothered. But if we go to this, go to their apps, and you can see here their list of apps. So the trade copier you'll find down here, and they have a couple of other things, but here what we want is the FX Blue Trading Simulator version 3 for MT4, not for MT5 unfortunately. So what you want to do is download this. You need to sign up to FX Blue's newsletter to be able to access these downloads, but it's free to create an account, and it's fine, you can block the emails if you want. So you want to download that. Once you've done that, we'll skip to the next part of the video. So once you've downloaded and extracted the folder, you will see something like this in your downloads. FX Blue Trading Simulator V3 for MT4 application. You want to double click that, and yes, and then it will come up with a list of the MT4 terminals it finds on your computer. Now find the one that you want to install this trading simulator on. I'm going to do it on a demo account, and we'll install there, and it should say successfully installed. Now the way we start this is a little bit different, so we want to go to that terminal. Now you don't need to compile anything for this, it's already done for you with that install, but what you do need to do is either press Ctrl R or go to View and go to the Strategy Tester, and now drag that up a little bit so you, oh, wrong one, so you can see a little bit more of this. And what you want to do is see this area here, go to FX Blue Trading Simulator, and then symbol, choose whatever symbol you want to test out of the ones listed here. I will go for Euro USD. Model, I don't worry about, and then you can use the date. It seems you can go all the way back from 1970, but we won't go that far. We'll go, actually, why not? We'll go back to 1970. And you can choose the time frame as well. So I believe you can choose multiple time frames. If you go to the Soft4FX website, check out the online user guide on this. it tells you how to do everything. You can see here how to install, run, place trades, use something called smart lines, use multiple time frames and other settings like that. So I really recommend going there to actually check this out, but I'm just giving you a short kind of intro to the installation process. So here we go. You want visual mode selected, make sure that is ready. And so basically what we have here, this is the speed of how fast the candles will move. So 10, I believe, is at normal pace. 1 minute candles will take 1 minute, and then going from there, 32 is very, very fast. It's a strange speed number. It must have some relevance, but I think it has a list of the speeds on the website as well. But you want it somewhere around here. So anyway, spread, you can choose it as like a fixed spread or just whatever the real one was. You can't unfortunately have 0. And yeah, so if we now start that, we can see we have a chart, and let's just make that look a little bit more Magic FX. And you can see it starts pause. Now you can add different indicators to this if you want, if you like to use that. For me, I'll just use it as it is. What you can see is if I get it started, the candles will start moving. And if I change the speed down here to 10, this will apparently take exactly a minute to finish. If I move it up, you see they move very quickly. So that kind of controls the speed of your simulation. Unfortunately, you can't seem to click candle by candle like you could on Software FX, FX Replay, or even TradingView backtesting. But in a way, it's more realistic to see the candles moving like this. So if you want to place a pending order, what you want to do is find where you want to click on the chart. So say you wanted to place an order, hold Control and click there. Okay. Then, if you wanted to place a sell limit from that point, and then order type or template, sell limit, entry price, that will be whatever price you clicked on. You can change it if you like. Lot size, you can do percentage of balance. So if you wanted to risk 0.5, you can go like that. Stop loss, you can do it in pips. I would do it, so pips, just say 2 pips. Take profit, you can move this afterwards. So if we just stick with pips and we do say 15 pips, we can then move it afterwards. Trailing stop I won't use there. If you save that template, it will just be the same for every trade, and you can just quickly use that again. So if we just name that trade 1, save that, template has been saved. Now if we place the order, you can see the order has been placed here. Now I will pause the simulation, and now what you can do is shift these around. Like if it's not quite in the right place, you can move that down a bit, move the entry around like this by moving these lines like so, and you can move the TP here and there. Okay, and once you play it again, that will have moved it. So that is the basics. Again, if you want more in-depth look at this, I will probably do another video on it, but that is just a basic intro to my top 3 tools that I use. And yeah, really helpful, free, and just good to use. So thank you FX Blue, thank you Earn Forex for letting us have these different things. There is, yeah, you can trade the millisecond chart. There you go. Oh, we took a loss. Well, thank you for watching my top 3 trading tools that you can use for free with MT4, and I'll see you next week with another great video.